Cupcake, and I'm coming to you with an update. I am not quite 14 months post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. I will put the weeks in the description, but yeah, or in the title of the video. But I'm about a week short of 14 months post-op. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery January 26, 2017 in Salt Lake City, Utah. My highest weight was 296. That was recorded. When I decided to have weight loss surgery, I was in the 260s. I had a 3-month supervised diet for my insurance and a 10-day 1,000-calorie diet. My weight day of surgery was 234, and today I am 156.6 pounds. I think that is about where I was at in my last video. I did get up to 158, and that was yesterday. So I don't know what happened between yesterday and today. I was feeling super bloated, so maybe I'm PMSing, like maybe I'm gonna start my period. Maybe it was water, I don't know. I looked very swollen and I felt very bloated. I can still see like the extra couple pounds in my belly, which, you know, people always say like they notice, you know, a lot easier now, you know, being smaller when your weight fluctuates. I definitely would say that that's true. I can see differences in my body depending on where my weight is at. And right now I'm about 3 pounds up from like the weight that I've, you know, the weight that I've seen the most and that I feel comfortable at, but I'm not totally uncomfortable with where I'm at, and I don't hate where my body's at, you know. So my lips are really dry right now. Anyway, sorry, I'm just gonna do that. Anyway, so I just got back from Arizona on Wednesday night. I left Friday night. I had my first 2 plane rides, and I returned back to Salt Lake on Wednesday night. Plane ride, I actually really enjoyed it. The plane to Phoenix, I was really nervous, but everything was fine. I actually enjoyed like the takeoff and the landing. You know, the only weird part about the experience, and I don't know if anybody else has had this happen, but it was not something I was anticipating. When I went through TSA, you know, I was very careful about everything that I took, you know, because I just didn't want to have any problems for my first flight, and so that was all good. But when I went through the scan, like my stomach area was like showing up on the scanner or whatever. It was flagging my like stomach area, and so they had to have like a female TSA agent stick her hands inside like the waistband of my pants and like up my shirt and like pat me down the front and back of my, like between my waist and my knees. So that was really awkward. I'm assuming it's because of, you know, the extra weight that I carry around my belly still, and like the loose skin or whatever. I'm assuming that's what it is. I mean, I've heard that it also can be like the second TSA agent, because honestly the same thing happened on the way back as well. The second TSA agent said something about scar tissue, that can make a difference, but I don't know how much scar tissue I really have. I mean, I've had technically three abdominal surgeries. You know, I've had VSG, and then prior to that I've had my gallbladder out, but they had to go in twice. I'm sure they use the same incision, so technically it's like 2 surgeries, but yeah, I had to go under anesthesia 2 different times for my gallbladder surgery. So anyway, I don't know exactly what it is, but it was really awkward. It was even more awkward on the way back because again, the same thing happened, and like the TSA agent said to me, your groin is flagging on our scanner or whatever. And I was just like, look, I had weight loss surgery. You know, I have a lot of loose skin in my stomach area. And she said to me, which I thought was really weird and awkward, but I guess she thought we were friends after she had to like stick her hands in my pants and everything. But she said, is it too expensive to have that removed? And she's like, have you ever thought about going to South America, like to have the skin removed? And I was like, yeah, it is pretty expensive, and no, I haven't. So yeah, that was awkward. And she actually, like I said, it was the one that was like, yeah, it's scar tissue or whatever. So that was the most awkward part of my trip. On my way back, it got to be pretty turbulent, which I didn't mind. I was like, yeah, let's experience some turbulence. Let's get the full experience of riding in an airplane. But after a while, it just made me really dizzy. And we also had to, and that could have been the air pressure as well, but we also had to like wait 25 minutes in the plane before we took off to Salt Lake because of like air traffic issues. So yeah, it was just like, I was just ready to get off the plane. But I went from like 80-degree weather in Phoenix back to like it was raining and cold as hell. In Salt Lake, it was like 30s, maybe 40s. It was probably 30s, in the 30s. It was freezing fucking cold. So, so that sucked. But I was happy to come home. Well, home. Happy to see my husband and our cat, because our cat, like apparently he missed me a lot, and he just like wait for me, and you know, when my husband would get home and I wouldn't be there, and he was just, you know, when I would FaceTime my husband while I was gone, like our cat would just like try and attack his phone. So I don't know, animals always, like, it seems like our animals are always like weirded out by FaceTime and by hearing, you know, mom or dad's voice over the phone. So anyway, but yeah, so not happy to be back in Salt Lake, but happy to be back with my husband. Obviously, ideally, we would just like to be in Arizona now. Arizona is home for my husband. That's where he was born. That's where he spent the majority of his life. And for me, I've been there 3 times, and I just know that's where we belong. I've never felt like I belonged in Utah. I hate it here. I feel like I'm not like the majority of the people that live here, and the weather sucks, and the drivers suck, and there's really nothing to do here. So everything about Salt Lake sucks, and Utah in general, because Salt Lake is the biggest city in Utah. So, I mean, I would say like St. George is, you know, not as bad as Utah, but I've never lived there. I've just visited there a few times. So Phoenix is better than here in every conceivable way. The food, the people are nicer. I feel like people in Utah are very standoffish, and if they actually talk to you, it's like they have an agenda. Whereas the times that I've been in Arizona, like, people are just friendly. Like, they don't know you, and they're still just really, really friendly. They ask you how your day's going and whatnot. And it kind of weirds me out because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to people that, like, strangers just talking to you. And so, you know, and like I avoid people for the most part. But in Arizona, like, people are just so much more polite. That's been my experience so far. So I know that we belong there. Like, everything in me knows that that's where we belong. And you know, we sent our son down there for school, and because, like, in anticipation of us moving down there, we are not able to move yet, but as soon as we can, we definitely will. We will have to get new jobs. There's nowhere for us to transfer our jobs or anything to, you know, we'll have to find a place to live, but all of those things, once we're able to leave, will be happy things to figure out, in my opinion, because we're just really miserable here. And I mean, everything that we want, everything that we need, everything that's important to us is in Arizona. So I can't wait till we can just finally be down there, because coming back, it didn't feel like home. It doesn't feel like home, you know. But being in Arizona, it feels right and feels good. Like I said, the only part that was missing was just my husband was here rather than with us. So anyway, but overall, I did have a good time. There were some bumps, you know, as far as just like, you know, I haven't seen my son since July, and so, you know, I do things differently than my mother-in-law in some instances, and so my son isn't used to, well, he's gotten used to the way that she does things, which is, like I said, different than the way that my husband and I do things, and so it was an adjustment at times, and but overall, I would say it was a really good trip, and I just can't wait to be back there. So I'm wearing my Arizona State shirt. I bought this at the gift shop at Sky Harbor, which is the airport there. I didn't really have the opportunity to find something to bring home to my husband before I got there, and I had some time to kill because they want you to be there like 2 hours early for your flight. And so yeah, I checked out the gift shop. My husband really likes ASU. He hasn't gone there, but he wanted to, and you know, maybe in the future he will. But I got him an ASU shirt, and I got myself one. This is a 14, 16 and kids. That's why it's super fitted. But I like it. I always liked wearing my clothes really fitted. Even when I was a lot bigger, I always liked wearing my clothes fitted. I've never really liked wearing loose fitting clothing. So anyway, but yeah, so I got these, and I got my husband a shot glass. He's not much of a drinker, but I just thought it was a cool little shot glass, so I brought that back for him as well. While we were there, we went to the Phoenix Zoo, which was really nice. I had a good time with my son there, and I ate at Jack in the Box because the only Jack in the Box we have in Utah is in St. George, and I fucking love Jack in the Box. Sorry, I'm just getting Twitter notifications, so anyway, but yeah, I ate there, and also Whataburger, which is also amazing, and we don't have anything like that here. So I did get to do those things. We celebrated my son's birthday early, so that was nice. And yeah, just enjoyed the warm weather. Went out to see my mother-in-law's property, which is it's in between Phoenix and Tucson. So we went out there, and yeah, just explored. I mean, everywhere was new and different to me. So even going to the grocery store, you know, even just going to Target there was amazing to me. I mean, you have to understand, like, we only have liquor stores in Utah, and so even going into a Target and seeing a whole and whole aisle of like hard liquor and stuff was just crazy. It always weirds me out because I'm just not used to that. But yeah, there's a lot of places that I would like to go, you know, still in Arizona, and I'm looking forward to being able to visit those places, you know, when we get back down there, or, you know, also when I visit again. We'll just have to see what happens, but I do hope that we're able to move there as soon as possible. So anyway, this video is going to be long. I didn't film last weekend, obviously, because I was in Arizona. But yeah, as far as other things that have been going on, 2 weekends ago, a woman hit our car that was parked in front of our apartment. We live in a triplex, and it was parked in front, and it was really snowy, and I don't know what happened, but she hit our parked car and then also another car in front of us. So our whole driver's side was pretty fucked up. Still drivable, but there was it's not sealed all the way now, and so a lot of cold air is coming in, and it's really cold in Utah right now, and we've had like snow and rain, and so it's not a good thing by any means. So that happened. She did leave her name and phone number, so my husband called her, and a little while later she sent us a picture of her insurance card. So we called the insurance and filed a claim, and then it took her like a week and a half to call her insurance and take accountability for it, which is really fucking irritating. But she finally did, and so now we have a rental car, and they're trying to decide right now if our car can be fixed or if it's going to be totaled. So I have very mixed feelings about this because our car payment is way too expensive, and we're struggling to pay it right now. Things have been just really tight, and yeah, we've been struggling to pay our car payment, which is almost $400. So we do have gap insurance. If they total it, that should take care of the loan and everything that we have on the car, but our credit isn't great. We definitely don't have a down payment for a new car, and so and we obviously need to have a car. We only have that one like running vehicle right now, and so yeah, it's just a shitty situation because they said there's a good chance that it's going to be totaled. You know, the parts, if they are able to fix it, they're going to be used because they don't make our car anymore. And so yeah, it's not a good situation. I mean, so in one aspect, you know, it may be the only way that we can get out of this really high payment, because in Utah, even if you're to default on your vehicle, you still they will sell your car at an auction, which usually won't fetch a lot of money, definitely not what it's worth. And then you're still responsible for the difference of what they sold it for at auction and what you owe left on your loan. So it's like we really have no options. Like, we are just stuck with a high car payment. So this may alleviate that, but it also may leave us without a vehicle, which is not really, yeah, we can't really function that way. I mean, we do have tracks, but it's still a ways to get to tracks, especially with the really cold weather. My husband, his job isn't near tracks, which is like a train. If you're not familiar, it's kind of like a train that just goes, you know, downtown and stuff. And so, yeah, we will be in a bad spot if we don't have a vehicle and if we're not able to get another vehicle. So we just have to see what happens, but we're just dealing with that right now. You know, I do love our car, and it would be really sad to lose it. So we'll just see what happens. Dealing with that. Let's see, other things. Like I didn't really, I don't know if I really talked about this yet or not. So I did say that I think I said, because I've filmed this video a couple of times, I got up to 158 yesterday with my weight, and today I'm back down to 156.6. I was expecting to have gained more weight, honestly. But I did a little better with like my calories and stuff yesterday, and I just think that I had a lot of like water or bloat going on as well. But I didn't eat terribly when I was in Arizona. I know that I said I ate Jack in the Box and Whataburger, but that's not that unusual for me. Like, you know, we eat a fair amount of like cheap fast food, and I just had burgers. I had burgers without the buns. I did have some fries, some of the curly fries at Jack in the Box, which were good, but you know, not like a whole lot. So I just ate more at a time and more frequently than I have been at home. I still do eat pretty frequently at home, but I think I ate even more frequently while I was down there. So that was kind of the cause of gaining weight, because I didn't eat terribly. I did have cake 3 days in a row, but I mostly ate the frosting because that's my favorite part, and because I don't know, I'm kind of gross that way. But anyway, so yeah, let's see, what else did I want to talk about? So I've been doing some of my grocery shopping online just because I like to buy different things from different places, and I also like to shop sales and stuff. And so I was checking out this thing at Smith's, which is Kroger, and it's called ClickList, and basically it's you're ordering your groceries online and then you go and pick it up. So I was looking at that, and then it like had an option for like free delivery. So I was like, okay, what's this? So it took me to another website, and I ended up ordering through a place called Instacart, which I would definitely check out because my experience was really great. So I still was ordering my groceries from Smith's, but somebody who works for Instacart went to Smith's, grocery shopped all the stuff on my list, and then delivered it, and it was free delivery. So it basically cost me the same as it would to just go there, except we did tip her, of course. And so that was really cool. And she was telling me that they do like Whole Foods, and they do like Costco, and I was like, oh hey, Costco. I was like, do you have to have a membership? And you know, she wasn't able to say for sure, but it kind of seems like you might not have to have a membership to order. So I would definitely check it out. She said something like there's a service fee, and if you uncheck that box, then you get like 10% off or something. I'm definitely gonna check it out because this was awesome. You know, it's nice for my husband because like usually on the weekends I'm gone when he wakes up because I go and do all the grocery shopping. I'd rather do it when it's not like super busy at the stores and stuff, and I usually have a problem sleeping in, although this weekend I've finally been sleeping in a little bit more than I usually do. But yeah, anyway, Instacart, I would check it out because that was really cool to have our groceries delivered. So we did that, and then we have a local grocery store, Harmon's, that we've been buying a lot of these pre-made meatloafs from that we really like. They're like $9, 32-ounce meatloaf. You just stick it in the oven for like 75 minutes, and they're really tasty. So it's like an inexpensive meal, and then we just usually make rice, which we have already. I don't really eat the rice, I just eat the meatloaf, but my husband will have rice with his. And so yeah, so we ordered from Harmon's and went and picked up the things that we needed from there, and then we still have a couple things to get at Target. Like I usually get my protein shakes there, the Advantage, because that's where I find them cheapest, and I have the the debit red card, which also saves me some additional money. And then we always buy these flushable wipes. I've shown these before, but we always buy these flushable wipes. They clean better than just toilet paper by themselves. Like, it literally says that on the package, but it's true. So that's what we use. We started buying them for our son, and then we ended up using them as well. So we always buy these at Target. You can get them in like 3 packs for $3.79, I think. At least that's what the price is at our Target. And then they also have like 9 packs or whatever. They're like 10 something. So we usually go through 2 packages of 3 every week. So yeah, that's something that we do, and we just end up buying less toilet paper that way. So yeah, we have a couple of things still to buy at Target, but otherwise our grocery shopping is pretty much done, which is really nice, because usually I'm having to hit up Target, I'm having to hit up Smith's, and then I'm having to hit up Harmon's, you know, just to buy all these different things. It takes a lot of time, and I mean, it takes time away from spending time with my husband, and he's not a big grocery shopping person, but he's like, hey, like, if we're just going to pick up a couple of things, like, he's like, I'm cool with that, I'll chauffeur you around. And I was like, awesome. So I've really been enjoying doing online shopping for groceries. So yeah, check out the Instacart thing. You know, I really enjoyed it. You might enjoy it. So anyway, I can't think of anything really else that's going on. I did get new glasses since my last video, I believe. So I really like these. They are Ray-Ban, but I like the which I got a pretty good deal on, because I buy insurance through work, and then like every 2 years you get like up to $130 off of frames, and then an additional 20% off anything above $130. So I got these pretty inexpensive. I just have basic plastic lenses. They're really comfortable. I don't know, they're kind of Harry Potter-ish, but I like them. My husband really liked them, so these are my new glasses. I got these at Lens Crafters, in case you're wondering. But yeah, I did find a little silver hair this morning, which was kind of funny. Normally, well, I'm not gonna say normally, like, I haven't really seen gray hair too much, or really at all so far. I know I look young for my age. I'm almost 33. That's why it's kind of like, the lady that I was talking to on the way back to Salt Lake on the plane, she said, you don't look old enough to have, you know, a 9-year-old. And I was like, well, I'm almost 33, so but yeah, so I'll be 33 in June, and I haven't really seen gray hair, but I kind of saw one this morning because like my roots are growing out. I'm naturally a blonde, so yeah, I need to color my roots again soon. But yeah, my hair is getting a little longer finally. It's still like in a very weird spot from the pixie cut that I had, but I'm looking forward to having longer hair. So yeah, I don't really like to wear it down right now. It's usually in this ponytail or pigtails, or sometimes I curl it. But anyway, yeah, my arms are like quite loose and stuff, especially in this really tight shirt. But it is what it is. I'm getting a little bit of a muscle. My husband said, like, there's a little bump right there. So, but I haven't really worked out this week much, to be honest. I've just felt really tired and just not felt that great since I came back. Maybe it was the change in weather and elevation and all that stuff. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll do a little what I'm eating video, like, you know, just like a food haul or whatever, because I don't really, yeah, I don't know. Normally I can't film like at work because HIPAA so I can't really film what I'm eating, and I usually eat at my desk, and I probably kind of feel weird filming at work, but and the weekends I just kind of eat whatever. Like so far this morning I have had what did I have this morning? I can't even remember. Oh, a Power Crunch bar. So I had a Power Crunch bar and some water mixed with cashew milk. That's what I've had so far today. And I'm probably going to eat a yogurt. I'm definitely going to try and get back on track this week with my eating again. And yes, that is something that you have to do, especially in maintenance, is, you're gonna gain weight sometimes. Because you're gonna probably eat like a normal person sometimes, and eat things that are off plan or whatever. And there are going to be times that you exercise less, and your weight is going to fluctuate. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to have regain or anything, but I'm just saying your weight is going to fluctuate, and that's okay. And so you just kind of have to, get back on track and like start eating, more on plan again if you see that your weight is going up. So it's not the end of the world if you are up a couple of pounds. I hesitate to even really call that regain, because I feel like regain is something that sticks around for a while. And I definitely didn't want to weigh myself when I got back from vacation, because I knew my weight was going to be up. But that's probably the worst mistake that you can make, is when you know that your weight is going to be up, that you just ignore it and you don't see where you're at, because it does make a difference. I feel like it does make you, make different choices if you know where you're at, instead of just ignoring where you're at. Now, when I was on vacation, I didn't weigh myself at all, and I think that's perfectly fine, but it's like when I get back, then I need to start doing, the things that I was before, so that I can continue to maintain my weight. I think that's why people say that maintenance is hard, is because there is a lot more fluctuation. You can't just eat everything that you want to, anytime that you want to, and not see a difference. You can sometimes, but it's not like when you're still losing weight, where you could have a day that was a lot higher in calories and not have your weight change, or even lose weight, which was sometimes my experience. So I think that's why people say maintenance is hard, but really, it's just, you just have to continue doing these things. This is what you're going to have to do for the rest of your life. We're probably never going to be those girls that just have naturally really high metabolisms, that can eat whatever they want in whatever quantity that they want, and, not do a lot of exercise. That's not where the majority of us are going to be. So yeah, we do have to keep on top of it. I would just say, just be careful about it, because thinking about it, I think that having weight loss surgery can definitely cause people to start to have eating disorders. Because it's easy to become obsessed with the numbers and tracking and all of these things, and then to really beat yourself up when you've gained weight or aren't losing weight. So I would just be really careful and just be good and loving with yourself. Just know that it's not the end of the world if your weight is up a little bit, because you know what you can do to lose it. And it may not come off right away, but you know what you're supposed to do. And as long as you can start to do those things again, you should be able to maintain. So just don't beat yourself up about those things. If you're in a stall and you're still losing weight, as long as you're doing the things that you need to, and you're eating within a calorie range that still allows you to lose weight, you're not eating way above where you, what your body naturally burns and what you're burning through exercise and whatnot. Just try to be as patient and as loving with yourself as you can be, because like stalls happen, they happen for sometimes what feel like very long periods of time. But if you actually go back some of those times and you look, like times where I thought like I was stalled and I wasn't losing enough weight or fast enough, I look back and I think, oh, I still lost 4 pounds that month or whatever when I was still losing weight. And so, you know, it's just a lot of perspective. And when you get kind of accustomed to seeing weight loss every week or every couple of days and then it just slows down, it's scary. And I understand that. I went through that, you know, but just know that that is going to happen, and it doesn't mean that you're going to be stuck where you're at forever. Things will pick back up as long as you're, you know, doing things you're supposed to, like eating fairly well and exercising. So, you know, and it doesn't even have to be, you don't have to be like crazy with your food or crazy with your exercise to maintain your weight or to lose weight. You know, so enjoy yourself, but also do the things that you know you need to take care of you, because you're gonna feel better. So anyway, I know this video is super long, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you soon.